Welcome back, BenchWarmers, to another action-packed weekend. Lots of goals, derby action, and a broken coin flag. All in one episode, all in one weekend. It was awesome. Awesome turnouts for some teams, not so much for others. But we will get all into that into this episode. Before we kick things off, I want to try something different. I'm going to give it to Edgar. Where can they follow us? Where can they
I don't know.
on
The Smug? The Smug only follows the Smug. I only watch what the Smug likes to watch, all right? I don't need to be telling you
let's go to
that, all right?
Let's go to
that's all you got to worry about.
Okay, if you want to get followed, if you want to get Liverpool content and banter, go to Lismug at Lismug. You'll find it there. Jose, where can they follow? Where are our social handles? Where can they follow us?
Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Can't remember the names, but all I can remember is YouTube channel BenchWarmers FC TV.
And this is a terrible start, bro.
This is terrible start. Terrible start. All right,
You know
you know what?
Are you looking to get replaced, Eric?
You guys, you have to send the
Nico.
script, man.
I mean, you should know this by now, Nico. Where can they follow us?
They can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at BenchWarmers FC.
You know, that was so hard.
Well, the intern's training. He wants to keep the job.
Marco, the interrupter. Where can they watch us?
They can watch us on YouTube, BenchWarmers FC TV.
And lastly, Diego, when they want to email us their heartfelt feelings, where can they do so?
If you'd like to email either LeSmug or Josue a reminder on where they can find us, make sure you send that email to benched@benchwarmersfc.com.
And I think we got them all right. We're not missing anything, right?
Good.
All right, cool. Because you got to throw me off right now, man, with the whole freaking not knowing anything about what we do here. So yeah, that as you guys can hear, as you guys can see, we have a full house today. The instigator, the interrupter, Les Smug. Do you have one for Nico?
No, not yet. The champion.
Con ese pelo la loca.
The champion.
No, I'm gonna call him Nick Goat because he won last season. I'm gonna call him Nick Goat.
Yeah,
we got
Nick
Diego the
Goat.
Stat Troll and Jose, Mr. Highlight Reel, which he didn't watch the highlights this weekend. I actually saw him watching the game because he was celebrating Spurs goals on our drive back home from the game.
Right in front of you. I saw Erik like this.
I applaud you, man.
I know, but you were like this first, and then you were
yeah,
like
I know. It was a great goal. But we'll get into that a little bit later. So let's you have a kickoff?
Go for it.
Let's do it. On my
on.
whistle. I
Where's
have
your
a
referee
legit,
whistle?
It's
Where's your
loud.
referee
Dude. It's
whistle?
really loud. I would blow it, but it's really loud.
What, you're afraid you're gonna break the audio?
It's enough. It really will mess up the audio. I'm pretty clear that like I blew it at the house and that shit was loud. It gave me like a little ring in the air.
Oh, your official one.
Yeah, it's pretty legit. But first game that we should have had this weekend was Aston Villa versus Newcastle United. That was on Friday. It did get postponed. I think the first postponed of the season due to COVID outbreak. I believe it was a few players and some staff members who were the ones that tested positive for COVID-19. If I'm not mistaken. Anybody can confirm that for me?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I believe it was
yes.
about
Cool.
5 players and staff combined.
Wow. So, these are the prices we pay to play in the pandemic, right? So, but we are seeing some fans back into the stands, which was exciting to see and exciting to hear because that crowd noise, that fake crowd noise was miserable. Now it's making the game a little bit more enjoyable. The next game that we had here was Man City versus Fulham, 2-0. KDB on the score sheet and with the assist. The day in the office for them, 18 points now. They are closing the gap to first place. They, however, have a big matchup coming up this weekend against United. So we'll talk about that a little bit more. What are your guys' thoughts on the game? Are Man City kind of back? Diego, I'm gonna ask you because this is your rival. Are they back? Edgar, you're too, and Nico here. I know you're Liverpool fans, but as the United Derby weekend coming up, are you scared of Man City, especially with the results as of late, because they have been starting to win games again? They're scoring a lot more. We'll talk about your result in a minute. How are your feelings going to the weekend against Man City?
It's a bit yes and no because they beat Burnley out. They washed them out last weekend. And then this past one, they get another notch in their belt with that Fulham win. The only thing that I guess is worth worrying about as a rival or even as a a fan of any of the clubs, especially in the top 6, is that KDB is looking like he's getting into form again. He's getting into a rhythm, and that always spells trouble for everyone else. The only thing that does make me feel a little bit better is that Jesus is still, at least to me, he's not doing it. He doesn't look like he's in it. It could be a bad spell. It happens to everybody. But at least in that Fulham game where he definitely should have at least gotten on the score sheet. Mars as well, scoring his hat trick last weekend and then coming into this one blanking without much of a contribution. Of course, on the pitch, they do a lot more. But as far as goals and assists, he went back home dry. It's a bit, I don't know, maybe comforting knowing that their attack line isn't fully fit. But KDB ticking, that's definitely something to worry about.
Edgar, Nico, as I guess the rivals of Man City for the past 2-3 years now, are you starting to see some signs of life again from them to start reaching the top of the table, maybe competing for the league itself?
I'll go. As of late, maybe because they have sewn up the defense a lot, like for the last couple of games. But like every time they beat Burnley 5-0, and then they beat Fulham this past weekend. Like it's not anything crazy, but they haven't been conceding goals, which is like pretty. If I'm a Man City fan, I'd be like over the moon because they always concede like those goals that they definitely shouldn't be conceding.
I was gonna say that they're no competition. If they're not in the top 5, I don't need to worry. But I'm gonna shut myself up so you guys can. And I'll tell you why. They got a game in hand, and they're at 18 points. You got to assume they're going to win that game in hand, right? That means that they're at 21 points, meaning that they're only 3 points off of Liverpool. We have 2 ties, and they could be in first. That's what it comes down to. They're basically in the top 4 if you give them the 3 points. So anybody who thinks that Man City isn't in this still is wrong. That's it.
Well, United is also the other team that does have a game in hand also. And if they win this...
you got to assume they're going to lose. So, exactly.
But I can't assume that. It's the Manchester derby and it's football. Anything can happen.
Did you see what happened today? Did you see what happened today?
Yeah, yes, different competition, different team, different atmosphere.
All right, go ahead and protect United, even though you're top of the table.
No, I'm not protecting United. I'm protecting the game itself.
Pick a team. You never know. You can't have every team every year.
I'm picking the Manchester derby itself, fool.
So they brought it up. The Manchester derby is this weekend, but before we get into that matchup coming up, United did win away at West Ham after trailing. Diego, you want to give us a stat on that real quick?
Yeah, that was actually a record that was set. So they are now the only club with the most comeback wins in the history of the Premier League, 385, if I'm not mistaken. And they're also joined by some other pretty notable teams on that list. I believe Spurs are just behind them. Arsenal and Liverpool make out the top 4 teams with the most comeback wins, but United now leads that list with 385 times that they've come back to get all 3 points. And out of the 5 away matches, they've won all of them with trailing at 1 point in each of those games for a total of 15 points. So it's something that I think that they deserve to hang their hat on. And it was a comeback that kept them, like Edgar so aptly said, competitive because they're within striking distance of the top spot.
Now, I mean, besides that amazing result you guys got this weekend, which again, Bruno, completely credit to the guy. He is arguably one of the best players in the Premier League right now, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think, but once he came onto the pitch, you just see the game change for them. It's incredible how good this guy is.
I wanna know what Marco thinks about comparing someone like Bruno to maybe his favorite Colombian playmaker.
Bro, there's no comparison. What are you talking about? Please don't offend Bruno Fernandes that way. Please, it's your own player, and you're offending him that way. Why would you do that?
I'm just trying to get you.
Don't even put him in the same category.
Thank you. We appreciate
that's as far as I'm going.
Man, it's crazy. But I think the biggest takeaway from the weekend, unfortunately, besides the great result you guys had in the stat you guys made for yourselves, is Pogba and his agent coming out and saying that his time at United is officially done. Where's he going next? What are your guys' thoughts on that alone?
Well,
that's pretty big news.
A couple days ago, Nico and I we actually talked about Pogba and see where he might go. Either PSG or Juventus comes to mind, but I definitely don't see. Definitely don't. Yeah, PSG going back to his home country of France, Juventus, where he actually was a big name. But I think Nico could agree with me that we don't see him going to the two Spanish giants in Spain or any other team in the Premier League as of right now. But you never know. Anything can happen.
Said it. Yeah, anything exactly. You said he said himself he wants to play at Real Madrid. He said that
he wants to play at Real Madrid, but if I'm not mistaken,
that French connection.
Okay, yes, French connection. But a couple months ago, Florentino Perez said, "Pogba, you're not coming to Madrid."
I mean, look, the French connection is there.
You believe,
bro? Look.
I don't look. We'll see what happens. Okay, it's everything is literally like this right now. Like we don't know what can happen.
The French connection could be there, but nobody guarantees that Zidane's going to be there by the end of the season. So
exactly that too, because
so he can say whatever he wants. Doesn't mean that he's going to be there.
Oh, Edgar's falling down, guys. Edgar has fallen over. His excitement for Real Madrid is too much.
He heard Pogba and he got excited, man.
Don't. I'm gonna continue with this, and right now I can't talk about Pogba. Just continue, please.
So, Diego, my only question to you is: if Pogba does leave this transfer window, either this one coming up in January or the one at the end of the season, would you consider Pogba a flop at United?
I wouldn't. I would consider him not living up to his price tag, but I wouldn't consider him a flop. If you look at it, he's had the same statistical contributions for Juve as he had for United. For Juventus, he's played 124 games, 28 goals, about 29 assists. And at United, he's played 119 with 26 goals, 27 assists. Literally the same numbers. Except for Juve, he went on a free. And for United, they had to buy him back for 100 mil. So if you compare them apples to apples, he's done this exact same work from one club to another. Except Juve had nothing to lose. And they endeared to him because they literally got him for free and he contributed. That one goal against West Ham, I saw tweets, people like, oh, this is going to replace finally that one Juve goal that is in all of his highlight reels of him smacking it like one time because he hits like that long range goal or whatever. But they're just comparing the fact that he scores a goal like that for each team. I really don't see like a reason to call him a flop. Would he go back to Juve? I think they have more of a reason to like him because he fit into a team that was also stacked with freaking Pirlo and Vidal and Marquisio, and that let him do a lot of the dirty work up front. So whether they can do that again for him, I'm not sure. Again, the biggest thing is the money. So like you said, I think it's going to be very important if he leaves in January, which I doubt, but leaving in the summer before his contract is up, especially if United want to get some kind of money back on him, which I'm already accepting as a loss, then I think that's going to be the only move left for him. I will tell you, however, that as a fan or I don't know, as a follower of Pogba, a fan of the club, I have no idea where he's going. I have no idea because again, he was quick to defend himself on the France team. He hasn't done that right now with whatever Mino Raiola said. And I'm pretty sure he's going to try to just be a professional and play on the pitch. Whatever happens, happens.
What was the quote that Sir Alex Ferguson said a couple of years ago about Pogba's agent? That he's a shitbag of an agent?
Yeah, he's a shitbag. He's a shitbag. I really hope that for all clubs involved, any of them, be them rivals or whatever, that they don't have to deal with this guy. Honestly, he epitomizes at least to me, the fact that agents sometimes have too much power in their say. That's it.
No, they do. They definitely do now. And as an Arsenal fan, I can definitely agree with you on that because that's something that we've been going through as of late. But yeah, that's big news for Pogba coming out. We'll see what leads coming from this transfer window. The next one. The next game we have here is Chelsea versus Leeds. 3-1 to Chelsea. Timo Werner missing sitters, man. Missing sitters, but still getting the assist. He may not be scoring them, but at least he's setting them up for his teammates, which you can't really, I guess, criticize him too much. I mean, for the misses, yes, you can, because
Erik, they have a world-class striker on the team, man. Olivier Giroud is a beast. Come on, like Timo Werner got bought for how much, and how much did Giroud go for? I mean, he was playing bench at Arsenal, so he comes over to Chelsea to play bench, and now he's scoring goal after goal after goal. I mean, he had
Listen-
what, 4 goals in the Champions League last week? It's insane.
Listen, Olivier Giroud has that experience. He has that mentality. He has that connection.
Underrated.
Very underrated. He's just, he's very mature in his spot. He deserves to be in that starting role.
He's a go-kart.
He's a go-kart.
Go-kart.
No, you know.
Yeah.
But one big thing I got from the pundits this weekend is that I believe it was Gary Neville. Sorry, I forgot for a second. Said that Chelsea are his, I think, favorite to win the league, as tied for first place. Both of I'm not gonna get mad. Both Josue, Edgar, and Nico, because you got to tie them points. Although Spurs are ahead. How do you feel about Chelsea? How do you three feel about Chelsea? Because you guys are the ones leading the table right now, so I'm gonna give you guys a floor on this. But Chelsea are knocking on the door. And
I don't know what to say about him, man. Like, the one statistic I heard is that Chelsea outran Leeds, and to outrun Leeds, you have to put in a ton of work, a ton of willpower. Like, teams that don't have the willpower can't outrun Leeds, and they had the willpower, but they also have the talent. So if they can just physically beat Leeds and have the desire to beat everybody else and score goals, if Timo Werner starts scoring, that's a wrap. They're going to be challenging. Right now, my only hope is that Timo doesn't pick it up, but eventually he's going to find it, and it's going to be trouble if they stay away from injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Havertz.
I think Jamie Carragher, he also said that Chelsea is his favorite team to win the league because they have depth. He even said it himself that they have more depth than his side, Liverpool, than Tottenham, than United, and City. Like, he has a starting 11. That Chelsea has a starting 11 on the bench compared to the starting 11 that Lampard, basically starts with every game. So, being a Tottenham fan at the top of the table, tied on points with Liverpool, but we are tied on goals with Chelsea. I feel I have more fear in our London rival team than I do with Liverpool. So it's still early. Anything can happen. I mean, I'm excited that we were able to tie Chelsea at their place. Then again, we still have one more game left with them at our stadium, where I believe Chelsea actually beat us last year, where Heung-min Son got a red card. So I don't know what can happen. I'm just hoping that Chelsea has some kind of bad luck along the way. That's it.
And their forwards have been clicking. Apart from Werner, like Havertz, actually apart from Havertz as well, but like their team is just clicking right now. Like, especially their back line, like Silva and Zuma, like, bro, that is a partnership. Like, yeah. Zuma is just like,
Zuma has more goals than a couple of top players in the league.
I feel like he scores a goal every game.
Yeah.
That's why I got him in fantasy.
No one's gonna call out
episode. That's tomorrow's episode.
No one's gonna call out Josue for that shameless plug. Nobody. No one's gonna be like, my man was like, "Hi, my name is Josue, Spurs fan, top of the table here."
I can't say anything.
Yeah, cállate.
I don't want to say anything because we play him in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Not even a couple. Next week.
Just let him smile.
There's a reason why I stay quiet until after the game. See what happens.
Well, you have a reason to stay quiet because
I do. I'm not denying it. I'm not.
Can we get there already, though? Come on, let's stop talking about Manchester United and Chelsea.
Before we got there, I just want to say I think for the most part, all of us kind of didn't give Lampard the credit that I think he deserves now.
He definitely didn't deserve it before.
I think some of you voted him to be sacked.
We did. I think most of us
did because they were awful. Because they were god awful.
I mean, I even said it myself that Lampard is not being consistent enough of selecting his players, of which players should start.
So should we start getting him credit now? There's no question.
No, he hasn't won anything yet. Okay. Keep going. Next game.
West Brom versus Chelsea. I'm sorry, Crystal Palace. Stuck on Chelsea. West Brom with 1, Crystal Palace at 5. Zaha with the goal and the assist after his COVID quarantine. Obviously, it's West Brom. No offense to them, but Crystal Palace
they were also man down, West Brom.
Yeah, early on in the game. That's right. Sheffield United versus Leicester. This game was was very fun to watch.
How do you have 1 point? 1 point across 11 games. I can't. I thought I'd seen all the shit teams, and I didn't think it'd be Sheffield. I thought it'd be Fulham before Sheffield.
Is it true that Klopp was like celebrating the fact that Sheffield lost again, or like not celebrating, but like mocking Nico?
Nico, you want to go ahead and say that? I haven't heard anything, honestly.
I just know about what he said to Brighton, like that they didn't want 5 subs and they're on 1 point. I don't know what he said after the Wolves match, but that's all I know about what he said.
Yeah, so I'm not sure, but I saw some memes. They could be trolling, of course, how Klopp was just commentating after the Wolves game that Chris Wilder is probably regretting not having the sub, so on and so forth. But point is, Sheffield United with 1 point this entire season, they're done. They're relegated already. They're gonna get relegated.
Like the worst ever start.
What was that?
Is that the worst?
I am not sure, honestly.
Does anyone know?
No, I believe it is still, that title still belongs to Derby County, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
More than 1 point.
I
got this point of the season.
That's pretty crazy. But the craziest moment of this game was Vardy's last minute goal. Who is a Sheffield Wednesday a supporter, right? Or he grew up supporting them.
Or playing for them, I think, at one point. Yeah, something like that. But point is, he hates them, man. He showed it. He definitely showed it.
And he
broke their corner flag.
Well, the worst part is, it looked like he was gay bashing.
Corner flag.
They had no, but that's what it looks like. It's the optics are terrible because it's a gay pride flag. My man's breaking it, and it's like Vardy, and it's like he's got all this bad juju around him. It's like, that's going to be painted the wrong way.
If you're a football fan, you know what the intent.
But most people are not.
Well,
not to the point.
This podcast isn't for those people. This podcast is for the football fan. So if you listen to this, you know what that celebration meant, right? So you know. I'm not trying to talk to somebody who's watching baseball right now.
It's a double middle finger by Vardy to all the Sheffield United.
There you go. Exactly. Thank you. So that wraps up that game. 2-1 Leicester's way. Now we can get into the game that Edgar wanted to get into. The North London Derby. Congratulations, Josue. I called it from the very beginning. I was not confident going to this game.
Come on, I want to see some fireworks.
What fireworks do you want to see? What fireworks do you want to see? There are no fireworks.
Go at each other.
My man wants the instigator tag, dude.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah, for real, bro.
He's trying to see a boxing
Marco,
match.
say something.
Lost of words over here.
I just can't wait.
My man switched teams over here going for baseball team.
I can't wait till Klopp leaves and then Liverpool go back down to shitter, and then I'm just gonna be saying all this shit to Edgar. But until that day comes, I have to keep taking under the chin. What happened?
Are you saying Gerrard on the Rangers?
Well, he's like undefeated or some shit right now.
Yeah, he has a good running form. He's on top of like basically everything right now.
Well,
but Marco, when you edit this video, just make sure you take instigator and just slide it over to Edgar's frame. Honestly,
I got you.
But I'll give you the floor, man. You guys obviously won this game. I saw you celebrating in the car in front of me because I was right behind you after our game.
Well, listen, I think you were like 2 seconds ahead of me on the stream because I saw the goal, but at the same time, my peripheral vision caught you like this already. So I'm like, wait, what just happened? And then I look down, goal. And then I look in the rearview mirror. We were at a red light, people. Don't worry, we weren't driving.
We're at a red light. We're just stopped at the moment.
But I look in the rearview mirror. I just see Erik with his hands on his head. He's like, I couldn't believe it. Off of Son's, banger. It was a beautiful curling shot. A long ground pass by
30 yards out, I think. 30 yards out for the shot.
Yeah, and no, it was just a really good game from Spurs. Basically Mourinho style. What was that? Mourinho tactics. Yeah, like let the team attack, and once they have too many players up on the attack, and we take the ball away, counter it quick, because that's where they're most vulnerable. And that's exactly what he's been doing throughout his entire career at Chelsea, Madrid, Porto, Inter. So that's what we did. And then after, halftime, we played it safe. We played more defensively. But I have to give hats to Arsenal because they did come off strong. There was sometimes they got me a little bit worried, but not too worried. So,
damn, it sounds like you're picking up some of. It sounds like you're picking up some of Mourinho's tactics, even for freaking interviews, giving props to the opposition team.
Only Edgar would try to turn it into something bad, but whatever.
Instigator 2.0.
I'm not instigating.
The kind of piggyback.
Mourinho was like, I think Arteta is a great coach and he did a great job, but like sort of like a smirk on his face, like the one I got on right now, and it's like I know what Mourinho's doing. He's just digging in a little more, but just a little smug about it.
Anyways, we got the win. Still on top of the table. Tied on points, like I said, but tied on goals with Chelsea. And Arsenal are down in 14th. How you feel about that, Erik?
I think we're 15th actually.
15th now?
Correction.
Okay.
Correction. We're not that good, okay? Relax. Yeah, man. Not feeling too good, honestly. I've seen all the Arteta out hashtags already, which am I surprised? Not really. Am I Arteta out? No, I'm not. I think we should ride this wave full of infested with sharks right now. Just ride it out until we get past this hump. But I'm just more upset with the body language of some players. Party walking off on that second goal where the guy came down our right flank and he was already walking off because he was injured. I was upset with that. I think it was a poor decision to bring him on so early because he had just gotten one training session in prior.
I think he was trying to catch the red eye back to Atletico. That's what it was.
Yeah, bro. He's like, yo, give me the fuck out of here. Shit. No. But him walking off, that was blatantly his fault. When it was 4v2, I think.
4v. No, it was 4v3.
4v3, yeah. And then, but Party was already. He literally the ball came through where he would have been at. Xhaka is just not good enough. Like there's moments where he just shows his brilliance, and then a game like this, I think the lineup was wrong at the side. He should have thrown somebody like Niles in who can run, or Lenny who has positional awareness and just is a workhorse.
Xhaka was looking to go in for the hurt.
And I hope he would have hurt somebody, but he didn't do that either. So he did
okay. All right.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, might as well commit.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it right. Shit.
Yeah, do it like Harry Kane. He knows how to do it.
Oh yeah, fucking flopper.
He doesn't know how to hurt anybody.
No, he
doesn't. I don't know.
I'm talking about hurt.
I'm talking about flopping. I'm talking about flopping because there's videos already of him flopping already, and I know
a different story. Yeah, I did.
So, but
it's the genius out of it. It's the 200 IQ right there.
Okay, my biggest what I'm most upset with is the body language, especially in Aubameyang. I have no idea what's going on with him. No clue whatsoever. He does not look like he wants to play. I don't know if it's something personal going on. I don't know if it's in the training room. I have no idea what it is, but he is not looking. He's not even looking like a shadow of himself. I don't know, Marco. What do you think? But I think the lineup was wrong. I'm still back in Arteta. I'm not gonna stop doing that. I just feel like we gotta ride this wave out, and then just hopefully, we'll keep hoping. Hope is the death of us at this point, but just keep hoping. That's all we have.
Hope
left.
Is the key word right now for you.
Yeah, that's all it is.
I mean, I think you just have to ride it until the end of the season, and then just see who wants to stick around and get rid of people, bro. Honest to God.
Well, he did say that to your point. He did say there's a lot of people who, I forget what the exact terms he used, but people who are just here just for a ride along. They're not here for the club.
Look,
so I wonder who that is.
As much as I like Obama, bro, if he doesn't feel like he has to want to continue being there, bro, leave.
What do you mean? He has to be there. We just paid a boatload of cash for 3 years. What are you talking about?
We get rid of him, sell him, bro.
How many?
If he has a contract, there has to be a clause on it. Get rid of him.
What?
Get rid of him?
Why not?
All right. How many of your players did you pay a buttload of money? Pepe.
What?
Ozil has a buttload of money. We're not even using him.
Crazy salary.
He gets a shitload of money on salary. He doesn't doesn't do anything because they're not letting him. So Ozil.
You guys are basically spending money on nothing to lose. Bro. That's what you're doing.
Might as well get rid of it.
I mean, you won the FA Cup. That's more silverware than you have had in God knows how long, but let's not go there.
I'm about to give Marco a Tottenham jersey.
We just talk on Bellerin, please.
Oh, Bellerin, and I mean,
bro, Bellerin,
we're not talking about Arsenal if you guys want. But this guy started off so good, and I think he has more foul throw-ins than goals. Fucking goals.
I think he has more foul throw-ins than the fucking recreational league that happens at West End.
Arsenal have 10 goals. Bellerin has 6 foul throw-ins.
No. This month,
Relax.
Bellerin
now it's
has
this
five
month.
foul
Specify
throw-ins.
natural. Specify
This
stat.
month, he has more foul throw-ins than Arsenal have goals. 4.
Correct.
Hey, we
Yeah.
have a good coach. We can lend you if you want.
What?
Liverpool have a coach, throwing coach if you want to, throw him over.
Yeah, we do. We came from Italy, actually.
Marco,
Bellerin, we'll lend him out to you.
We just gotta take it on the chin, man. It is what it is. And listen, United already fell down to Europa League. Liverpool get knocked out of Champions League soon enough. Spurs are going to choke it like they always do and not get the Premier League. So we're all going to be in the same boat.
We're all going to be in the crying at the
We're
end
all
of the
gonna be in the
season
same
because
boat,
Bayern's
so-
going to walk away with it. So
Bayern
Please,
and Man
somebody
City.
And Man City.
clip this right now. Somebody clip this right now.
I mean, just write down the day of recording and you can just go back to it.
I'm just saying, bro. Let them enjoy it because once Liverpool are out of Champions League, United are already in Europa with us. So welcome to the best league in the world.
Welcome to
Yes.
Europa.
Yes, sir.
And
It's good to have you, Diego.
Spurs are gonna have a mug for getting second place again. So I mean, what's there to really celebrate? Until we get there, Marco, let's just ride it out. Let's take it on the chin. We suck. We're a relegation team right now. It is what it is. It is.
Yo,
that's
honestly,
that's
bro.
why I don't mind Erik saying it because he's recognizing their place right now, so it's fine.
We're bad. I think we have good players to be in a better position than we are right now. I don't know what the downfall was from the beginning of the season to where we are now because we literally only improved our squad. We only improved our squad with the players that we got in, but the downfall has been just crazy. If you guys have an answer for me, please let me know because
Wouldn't it be
I have no
Arteta?
answer for it.
If the players improved and the squad improved, wouldn't it be on Arteta?
With a new coach,
Yeah.
I mean, it could be. There's always that bounce back when you get a new manager, that may have been a situation for the FA Cup, the Community Shield. That may have been that balance, a new manager feel bounce back, but
It hasn't been that way for a Premier League though.
it hasn't been. It was like that in the Premier League towards the end of the last season, and in the beginning of this season, we started off pretty good as well. It wasn't like we were like shit from the get. We were actually we give Liverpool a run for the money, we give Man City a run for the money. We beat United away for the first time since God knows how long. We weren't doing bad.
So
Now,
why
I
can't
don't
they
know.
be? So
I
why
don't
can't they
know.
keep it? Why can't they be consistent?
I don't know. That's why if you guys can give me that answer, please. Because I don't know how.
Yeah, Eric looks
the
like he's about to
same
have an
squad.
anxiety attack right now, man.
No, I just don't. You guys are asking me questions like I don't know how a team can go so strong and then just plummet.
I think it's down to the players, man. I really do.
I think it's the players.
It is
I
the
think it's
players.
Arteta.
I really think it's down to the players because like looking at it, at least trying to look at it from like a sensible point of view, like it's just as much on the players that just aren't responding, and it shows in what they've posted up, like you said, in their goal production. The whole 44 crosses one game, 80 something crosses the next game. Like at least like with that much repetition, it's almost like I feel like Arteta is trying to make a point here subliminally. This is just reading into it, of course, that he's like, look, I'm forcing these guys to create and there is no end product. There is a problem here.
I completely agree. I think that's one of the main reasons why Ozil was left out as well, is to kind of show the club that, hey, look, we have no creators. We have no Bruno Fernandes on the team that can just make something out of nothing. We don't have that. So I think leaving Ozil out, and I don't know if you guys saw the Emery interview that recently came out regarding Ozil as well.
Yeah, that he said something about like his commitment and everything, and that he wasn't convinced by it or whatever, his work ethic.
So maybe it was up to Arteta to leave him out, but it's not. Obviously, it's not only him. Emery has came out and said it. Ozil's not in it mentally, physically. Who knows what it is? And in my opinion, neither are a lot of the other players. So
just to end it, you're clearly Arteta in. Marco, are you in or out?
I'm in until the end of the season. Let's see what happens then.
You're giving him the season.
I'm giving him the season.
All right. It's a very patient board you guys would run. Because they have two options. Either they stick with him and let him learn on the job, which is gonna fucking hurt. Honestly, there's gonna be more of this. Or they cut their losses early and they look kind of silly, but they cut it, like they chop it off right now.
So you think that there's no comeback for Arteta this season?
With the way the players are performing, man, 10 games in, Like almost, and like here's the thing, it's only gonna get harder, dude. We're coming
No,
into
you're right.
Christmas fixtures, man.
I just want a yes or no from you. Will it get better? Is this Arteta season? Is he gonna be shit from now on, or are we out?
I can see them get in as high as nowhere past 9th at least.
Okay.
I'll put it like I don't believe they'll improve their points position on the table from last season. No, they will not. I don't see it happening. And I don't put that blame on Arteta. I honestly put it on the players. If Aubameyang doesn't tighten up, they can change it. They can turn it around. It's not Arteta's fault, honestly. I don't think it's his fault 100%. He may have some blame to share, obviously, because he's in charge of the team, but the players aren't responding. If you're asking me right now to put it like on record so you can come back to today, I don't believe that they will better their table position from last season if they continue like this.
That's fair.
All right, one last thing. I'll be honest. I feel like Arsenal are just missing that committed leader player. Aubameyang, I don't feel like I just don't get that vibe, that energy that he's a leader. He's a leader.
He had it towards the end of last when they gave him the captaincy. You saw he was scoring goals.
He had it.
I don't know what happened.
But like a strict leader to get into their players' heads, to get their their mojo back.
I mean, I hate to keep on back to this, but I'm just I can't believe how impactful this player is. But I want a Bruno Fernandes on our team. I want a player like that, man.
You know you do too, Edgar. You know you do too.
Who wouldn't, bro?
I would too.
As my Erik control all he wants, but he just sounds crazy. He says he wouldn't want a player like that.
He does. He doesn't want there to be a paper trail.
Yeah, for real.
Of him
We're over
stating
30 minutes.
obvious.
So at this point, I don't really care anymore, honestly. But
Well, I kind of do
All right,
because
so
I'll
what's
tell you
next?
this: my phone will die soon.
All right. So what's next?
So obviously Arsenal lose 2-0. Harry Kane and Son. I wish Aubameyang. I think either tying or about to break the record for goals, combined goals. If I'm mistaken.
Close to it.
Drogba, and who was the other one?
Drogba, Lampard.
Drogba, Lampard with 36.
Yeah. So we shall see. It's that combination is deadly right now, man. It's scary. The next game we have here is Liverpool versus Wolves. Wolves still without Raul Jimenez, who was let go out of the hospital. Thankfully, he's doing better. So continue to recover. Fractured skull, man. That's just still creeps me out, man. Watching that fucking clatter.
Have they said anything on how long he'll be out for? I mean, I assume it's the rest of the season.
I haven't heard
anything.
season,
But yeah,
I told you my phone's about to die. It's at 10%.
But yeah, so Liverpool 4, Wolves 0. Another day in the office for the Liverpool fans that were actually there to be able to celebrate, and you saw the emotions, the excitement, especially from Klopp, going to the stands like yeah. So it was pretty cool to watch. How does it for you, Nico and Edgar? How did it feel to how different was it from previous, during the middle of the pandemic with no fans to actually having some real fans and real fan noise come from the stands?
It's massive, bro. It is massive. We had Callagher. We had 3 academy players on the field. That's insane. That's unheard of. And then Callagher, the third string.
Unheard of.
I've heard of it.
Why do you think we're losing all the time? Come on.
My point. But Callagher is replacing Alisson, probably considered top 5 in the world, over Adrian, which we know he can't play, and the guy just steps up and pulls out worldly saves in front of the cop. He's straight out of the academy. It's massive, and luckily NBC gave us the "You'll Never Walk Alone" song before the game. They knew how big it was, and the stadium was empty. There was only 2,000 fans in there, but you could hear that song so clearly, so powerfully that I know it had an effect on all the players. We could not let Wolves beat us that game. We could not. It could not happen because that was the first time they saw their team on the field after winning the championship. It's impossible. And that literally turned into what the game turned into, a 4-0, a great showing. And I know it came down to a lot because of the fans. If the fans weren't there, I could easily see a 1-0, maybe a 2-0, but it was a tough game. It was a tough game up until, the fans showed up.
To your point, whenever Firmino hears his song, he turns the fucking R9. I don't fucking get it. My man goes straight up phenomenal style and just starts fucking ball.
Karate chopping down the wing.
Bro, you would have one highlight of the guy up until now that there's fans back in the field. Did you see what he did to Moutinho? He freaking put him on his ass. It was hilarious. I mean, the guy is class, and all he needed was fans to show it up.
Quick question: How old are Firmino, Mane, and Salah?
Salah is actually a year younger than us, I think.
28.
Late 20s.
Firmino's 29. Salah and Mane are 28.
Wonder how long they're gonna stay Liverpool for.
Like 2-3 years.
I think. Well, between the three of them, I think between the three of them, Firmino is the first one to go.
Tomorrow.
I don't think he'll go.
I think
Edgar
he will.
thinks
I highly doubt
every Liverpool player is a lifer. That's
He still thinks that Jamie
That's
Carragher will
literally-
still come on.
he thinks that Milner's still the best defender in the world, probably. So I mean, you can ask Edgar. Hey, well, Alisson leave Everton's career. No, he's a lifer. Well,
He's
Klopp,
a
no, he's a
lifer.
lifer. They're all gonna be lifers. They're all lifers from now on. So, but Nico, how did you feel watching the game? You know, with Liverpool fans back in the stadium.
I'm gonna keep it like I even like
Good boy.
with Edgar and Eddie in the chat. Like I even like my eyes started watering when like the game kicked off. When the fans started roaring, it was just like it's crazy. Just like not just Liverpool, but every team in the world is like these past 9 months have just been like even the players.
Yeah.
They just it's a scrimmage match essentially, and just to have like the fans back, even though it's only 2,000, it's just like wow. It's just like
You know
this
what?
was March.
You're right, bro. That's why Spurs beat us because they had fans and we didn't have fans there. That's right. That's 100%.
That's the
Oh
reason
my
why.
God.
I knew that was coming, bro. I knew that was coming, dude.
They had a bunch of cerotes there.
Are already looking for excuses.
Hey, I give you credit. Relax. So last game to end the game week was Brighton versus Southampton. Southampton 2. Danny Ings getting the penalty. Prowse getting on the score sheet again. This team is not slowing down. Southampton have been pretty consistent, pretty good throughout the league so far. Aside from that, the upcoming games that you guys should watch out for are going to be Leeds versus West Ham. That should be a nice little game to entertain everybody before the main. That's like the appetizer to the main meal, which is going to be United versus Man City. That's going to be a banger. And then for
It
dessert,
still sounds like another appetizer. Honestly.
yo, Diego, please remember how cocky Josue is right now, because when this comes back to
Listen.
bite, I am going to enjoy every second of it, bro. Every second. Of it.
I honestly, me personally, think that's gonna be a draw. So like a 2-2.
All right, well, we'll see. And then for dessert, you have Everton versus Chelsea. So gonna be nice and full of some footy this weekend. One thing I did forget to mention for Josue was Mourinho's track record. Since you kind of came out cocky and everything. It's like every second season with Inter, Chelsea on both runs. Porto, he's gotten first place in the league. United was the only exception where he got second place, but he won the Europa Cup.
And it's the best season he's ever played in the Premier League. Don't forget that.
Yeah, but it being Spurs, you can only guess, right? So aside from all those games that happened this weekend and those coming up for this coming weekend, quickly talk about today's Champions League games because we're not gonna have a chance in the future. I want to kick it off with the Barca Juve game.
Okay, can I show you something real quick?
Yeah.
This is where my Messi shirt is now. Completely hidden and no longer even visible to me. Not because he didn't do a great job. He busted his ass. He tried to score, but it's basically Messi or bust. And if Messi doesn't score, Barca's done. That's it.
Yeah,
I think late today was trash, absolute trash. It's not how you should be playing at home. It's pathetic. It's sad. And now I want to sign off. So bye, guys.
Barca did look abysmal that game. Ronaldo with a brace and penalties. In my opinion, both were clear penalties. But the biggest, I guess, the most extravagant goal was from Weston McKennie.
That was a goal.
American.
That's class.
That took a lot of headlines, man. The American getting the score sheet. How did you guys feel about that? You know, we see Tyler Adams for Leipzig. We see McKennie. We're seeing these players just kind of rip it up.
One American outbested the other American today. Weston McKennie over Serginho Dest. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
No, but it was good to see, two Americans playing on two top teams head to head. Messi versus Ronaldo. I mean, they made history right there.
Yeah, that's true. They were in those lineups. So, the other game that happened today that I mean, Diego, we'll just pick into you, and then we'll save the most, I guess, dramatic one for the end, the controversial one. United lose to Leipzig away, 3-2, but it could have easily margins. Give me just margins, man. Just margins, bro. Just margins. Diego, when you saw that last second tackle from, I forget who it was on the Leipzig side, but when he almost scored that own goal, were you just officially okay, we're out, or did you still have like a sense of hope?
No, I still thought that it was possible. I definitely jumped out of my seat when that happened. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Konate that almost put it past Gulashi, off of that cross, that low cross that Papa put in. It just, to me, I just felt like it wasn't going to be our day when they conceded in the second minute. I've come out to say that Ole has used the diamond correctly. He's used the 4-2-3-1 correctly with the double pivot, and I think he got it completely wrong today. I think he got it completely wrong with his selection. I was very confused as to why he would put on Shaw when he hasn't played for a month and he just recovered. I think it was a mistake to put on 5 with Shaw as a central, like part of like the central 3, because it just invited Leipzig to switch the ball from one end to the other with their fullbacks, and that's exactly how they scored their first 2 goals. They were switch balls from one end of the pitch to the opposite end. They crashed into a goal, and at 2-0, I still didn't think that it was over because of what they've shown this season and their second half comebacks. But again, it was too little, too late. Once Bruno hit his free kick off the bar, that I just caught myself smiling like, damn, it's really not gonna happen. And so I had a bit of hope when they put those 2 goals in, but by that point I was already feeling, the defeat coming anyway, and I was accepting it because I think Ole got it wrong, and Leipzig held on, which to their credit, they took their goals, and that was that. It's over. Unfortunately, there is no goal difference rule in Champions League. It's head to head, and so because PSG had beaten United twice, that's why they're in second. So no matter what happens in that game, United go out and they move on to Europa League. It's over for them.
Well, welcome to the best league in the world. So, what do you mean?
Best competition, baby. Exactly, I've said that from day one.
But to kind of bring up what Diego said about PSG, that was a very controversial moment. I think the first time in Champions League history, I think in just footballing history, where you see a 4th official who was accused of using a racial slur to Dembaba from Istanbul, and I mean, you guys saw everything that happened. Both, I respect PSG for walking off the pitch alongside Istanbul. I wasn't aware. I was on the chat earlier on Xbox with some of the guys, and Josh Howard, who say he was watching the game, he noticed that Tuchel was kind of protecting the 4th official, trying to make it, like make it not as a big deal as it really is.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Can you explain the situation though? Because what I've heard isn't as bad as I think it's being made out to be. I'm just saying, because the same guy on the show on the NBC All Access, he was talking about how he doesn't get offended when they call him the black guy. You know what I mean?
So,
but it all depends on the context.
If I'm mistaken, Demaba was saying something on the sideline, and the 4th official, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if you guys have heard anything else about it, but from what I heard, he said, "Dale este negro un amarillo," or something, or to give him a card or something. "Dale este negro."
But I think he's Romanian, so I don't even think he heard the whole context. I think he was speaking in Romanian and basically said, "It's who's the yellow card for?" And it's like for the black guy.
No. What I heard is the problem is that us as Spanish people, we use the word negrito or negro as in a word of endearment. It's just a character. It's just something that we use to describe a person. I'm called negrito all the time, but with love. Romanians don't use that word that way. They use it as a form of insult, and that's what I heard. This is what I'm hearing. I'm not 100% sure, but this is what I heard. So when he used it, and him being Romanian, the gentleman knew exactly what he was trying to do, and that's why he got pissed.
Yeah,
he
it
said-
was. He directed himself to one of the staff. It wasn't towards Demba Ba. It was to one of the staff. His name was Webo, one of their coaches, I think, or assistants.
Assistant coach.
And what he was saying clearly, what Demba Ba said clearly in the videos, was you do not refer to him pointing to someone else as that white guy. You just say that guy. So how come when it comes to Webo, to part of the technical team, why do you say that black guy? There is no need for you. He's making the point that there's no need for him to point out his race. Just say it was him. And I think no matter what the case is, as far as like the intended nature of what he said or the word or where he's from, like, as a champion, all these cameras, you have all these hot mics. You don't do that. Like, you just don't do that. As far as being smart and being human about it, okay, maybe we can take the context into interpretation about where he's from or whatever. But you have all this attention to you. Why would you even address someone in that manner? Just say that guy. Just say it was him. If he needs to get disciplined, you can literally point to him. You can walk over to him. You're the official. You have control. And so I believe that he was wrong for addressing him in that way. And Demba Ba made a very clear point, which I think is black and white in the sense in that you don't need to do this. You said you don't say that white guy, so you don't need to say that black guy. Just point him out for who he is. And I think the show of what they were like, I don't know, I guess their intention to walk off, there was also audio about Mbappe. There was video of that too on Twitter. Mbappe saying, we can't play with this guy, part of like the team. Like, we can't continue like this. I think it was a very flashpoint moment where it was nice to see that, at least on the player side, because I can't speak for Tuchel or for whatever he was trying to do, at least on the players, the ones that are out there on the pitch that are receiving this treatment, they're all on the same page. Like, all right, this needs to be stamped out. We're not going to stand for this. And then it was very much a historic moment that they decided to walk off together.
I think it was about time.
Yeah, and to Diego's point, remember, this just came back off of a viral video of Millwall fans booing their team for kneeling.
Mm-hmm.
So this is hot right now. It's always a thing that we should avoid. But we just saw this video of Millwall fans booing their own players for kneeling for Black Lives Matter, and then you have an official come out and saying this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's bad all around. That guy is not getting a job again, at least on Champions League.
Yeah, a lot of them are asking him for basically his job. No longer use him at all. I mean, will it happen?
Well, look. Let me see. I have mine. If you need me, give me a call. Give me any Liverpool or Spurs assignments. I'll make sure I do my best to make them lose.
With that being said, now, do we know when the game is going to happen? Because Monday is a draw.
I think tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes.
I think it's supposed to take off tomorrow. They were postponing it, seeing if they can delay it a bit, but they're like, screw it. The PSG players, to Diego's point, that they're not going to go out there unless Istanbul is comfortable with them going back out there, and they weren't. So
they already had played 15 minutes, I think. Will that count?
I think they're going to start it over from scratch, if I'm not mistaken.
There was no goals, no nothing.
Yeah.
It's a complete rematch, yeah, because it'll be new officials and everything. So, but we are well over our time. There was obviously a lot to talk about.
I got 2% battery left.
All right, so we got
who's getting a free pizza?
You are.
You get us pizza, Edgar?
You're the one delivering 30 minutes or less, and you ain't keeping us on 30 minutes or less. I want my pizza.
Damn.
My man was busy wasting time trying to instigate problems between you and Josue.
Real.
Hey,
You know what he was
that's what the
getting?
host.
You know what he was
That's
getting.
what the host job is.
He wanted that pizza anyway.
So with all that being said, I'm gonna go order myself some pizza. We are the Bench Warmers, the bench with the voice, where the bench is always warm.
Edgar's on his way to Wawa right now.